Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alexander Signori, and today I'll be presenting how the coronavirus has had a huge impact on the airline industry and how Delta Airlines is looking to survive this pandemic. Now, the U.S. economy has taken a huge toll since the coronavirus has hit the nation, but no other industry has taken a bigger hit than the airline industry. And this is due to the increase in travel restrictions around the world, which has led to the decrease in demand for new flights. Now, Delta Airlines has experienced negative net bookings over the next 4 weeks, which means that more people are actually canceling their flights than reserving their flights, which leads to a huge loss in revenue. Delta has actually projected an 80% loss in revenue for the next quarter, which means they will be receiving $10 billion less than they did in the second quarter of last year. And the CEO has stated that they're still burning through $50 million in everyday expenses. And the stock has also plummeted by more than 35% since the year started, which leads me to believe that many investors don't have the confidence that Delta could survive this pandemic. Now, what would happen if an airline like Delta failed? Well, 10 million US jobs rely on a strong aviation industry, and 750,000 of those jobs are employed by airlines themselves. The remaining jobs come from other businesses such as taxis, contractors, Ubers, and restaurants that rely on strong aviation foot traffic to remain in business. If the airline industry fails, many of those people will be left without a job. And less airlines will mean increase in prices since there's less competition, which the few remaining airlines will have more control of the pricing. And this could have huge effects on industries such as tourism, international business, and many travelers will be left with minimal options. Now, what is Delta doing to prepare for this pandemic and how they're trying to avoid mass layoffs and failure? Well, they're cutting expenses by slashing 70% of their seating capacity, which means they're canceling all their flights to Europe and parking up to 600 of its planes, which is more than half its fleet. And they are also cutting employee expenses, which mean to ensure future jobs, which means many employees have taken the liberty to take unpaid vacation leave during this pandemic. And they've also instituted a hiring freeze, which means Delta will not hire any new employees while this pandemic is going on. Delta has also slashed its executive pay, which means the CEO will forego 100% of its pay for the next 6 months, and all of its directors will take a 50% pay cut till July. Delta has taken many precautions to handle this COVID-19 pandemic, and this information can be used for all other businesses who are experiencing the same thing during this COVID-19 pandemic, and God forbid this pandemic still happens in the future.